I'll call to order the Human Relations Commission meeting for November 9th, 2021. I'm requesting staff confirmation that the Kansas Open Meetings Act required notice has been properly provided.
Yes, it has.
Very good. Then I'll call this meeting to order and ask for roll call.
Okay. Commissioner Burchill.
Present.
Commissioner Grinter.
Present.
Commissioner Godsey. Commissioner Elric.
Present.
Commissioner Rivers.
Here.
Commissioner Schutte. Commissioner Canales.
Thank you. With 4 members present, we do have a quorum, and that will move us on our agenda to item 2.1, approval of the minutes from our October 12th, 2021 regular meeting that was distributed. Are there any additions, corrections, deletions that need to be made to the minutes? Does anybody see anything? Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
Accept. Second.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor of approving the minutes from our October 12th, 2021 regular meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Then the minutes are approved. That takes us to a new business, specifically administrative item number 3.1, a docket review of cases.
Thank you, Commissioner, Chair, Commissioners and Chair. We prepared what we could tell from the last time that you had a report. We had a meeting last time, but it was our first meeting and we didn't have everything. So the report that you've received, I think, goes from February, kind of the status of cases from February till the present day. And what we showed to you then we have one currently employment case. Since we completed the report the end of October, we have a couple more things in brewing, but we have one currently new employment case. The other cases, there are a few that are pending under housing that are awaiting court hearing that are with the other attorneys in the process. We received some updates on those, but they're in the administrative process. There are a few that our special section, when we had the staff turnover, those are the ones that were waived to HUD. So we had them at various stages when the agency had no employees and they were waived by the city over to HUD. So they're still following and monitoring those a little bit, but we are not actually handling them in the office. And then the rest we're waiting for our new cases. That we didn't have any public accommodations at any of the times. That's kind of the lower number. I think Marissa's putting that kind of up on the screen, and you should have had a packet on all of those. But that's kind of our status for now on the cases.
Is there any questions by the commissioners about our docket of cases?
No, I'm just trying to pull it up right now so I can see it better.
Okay. So,
Here's a print.
Thank you.
anything else? We don't have a whole lot to report on them, but I imagine that it will pick up.
And there was one case that was closed, right?
Yes, since the last time. There are actually a couple, if you count over the others, there's a closed under housing and there was a closed under employment.
Okay.
So there were 2 different ones that were actually closed since the last report.
Hearing no other questions, we'll move to agenda item 3.2, a review of the evaluations for the Fair Housing webinar from April 2021.
Okay. Hopefully you can see that on the screen, and you should have been provided in your packet both a short staff report, but most of it was kind of contained in the infographic where we tried to accumulate and figure out the statistics of the responses that were received. The prior staff had sent out a survey from everyone, and so we accumulated what we could tell from it. We didn't do it. We were looking at it past, we weren't involved with it, but it looked like it had a fair turnout, lots of feedback. We had quite a few of the individuals go ahead and respond to it. You can see the breakdown of how people found out about the survey was one thing. So by the flyer seems to be the majority of them. Another agency, other website, social media, word of mouth. You can see also the breakdown of majority of the people attending are nonprofits, the tenants, property managers. I'm not sure what's all contained in other. They seem to like the speakers. Satisfaction of Zoom was surprisingly pretty high. I know people feedback what they do prefer in person, which I can't blame them. It's always nice to have trainings in person. You seem to get more of the networking and the involvement. I don't know. I prefer in person so I can understand, but it's nice to have the alternative as opposed to nothing. So that's kind of the breakdown of the way it went. Everyone seemed to like the speakers, and it went well, having pivoted to an online, fully online one last year. I don't know if anyone has any questions. Did you like the infographic? Do you prefer a written report? If any feedback would be welcome.
I like the infographic. It's just kind of like quick and easy to glance at and still get the information. But that's just me.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah.
Any other questions about the evaluation of the fair housing webinar? If not, then I'll move us down to our next agenda item, 3.3, the scheduling and planning for the fair housing seminar for April of next year.
Yeah, so we would like a little bit of feedback from you all, if anyone is interested or has suggestions on speakers, place. I put in the agenda enclosed the subpoints there, the potential dates, location, topics for session, and speakers. Any input from this body would be most helpful. What you might want to hear, or what you think from the last ones, if any of you have attended them in person or online, what your thoughts are. It's always getting speakers and attaining people. That's always a trick. So we could always use your input and suggestions and ideas on that. They've done a good job of keeping records, so we have a lot of things that we can go back through and look and see what was in the past, but that is not the same as the actual input of what you liked or what you think is current as participants in this body. So starting the process of thinking about it for next year.
Yeah, and I know that the data from last year's was they still prefer in person, but it's just been such a strange past 2 years, and we just can't, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen in April of, so I appreciate the good feedback from the webinar, but knowing that we can do that, I feel a little more confidence, and I still think we should maybe hope to try to do it in person.
Yes. And I don't know if there's a way we can have like a plan B and a plan A, or, an alternative plan or something where we do a little bit of a hybrid so that it's not so much of a pivot if you switch from one to the other. I haven't had the opportunity yet to look at all the locations. I think they are pretty consistent when they do have it in one place, from what I understand. Or I don't know if they've moved it around. I don't remember exactly, but my understanding was it had been usually in one place. So I don't know if there's a contingency plan that we can, do it, have a hybrid or a plan B. I guess I always like a plan B. After living through 2020, I always want a plan B now. So.
Yeah, and that makes total sense. And I guess the other one is looking at some of the nonprofit agencies and talking to some people afterwards. Again, for some of them, it would be really important if we could also look at tying into CEUs for organizations like, for example, social workers is just one. But I mean, if we could work on that early enough, I think it might even help with attendance, and they might even be able to suggest some speakers or topics for us, since some of these people are in the trenches.
Yeah, I like the idea of the CEUs. I know when we do the employment law seminar, that's always a big one in the past when this agency has put on an employment law seminar. That's the extra push to get people and get your numbers up, I think, when you get credit for it.
And I know we have social work programs at state in Salina and as well as Kansas Wesleyan. So I'm sure the staff there could help direct us to the right,
How to do it. How to
right
go.
agency or right people to get that done. But I think that would help draw, but also use those resources in the community to help, under the umbrella of our topic, what would be some speakers that might fall in line with that.
Good idea. Anyone else have any suggestions or ideas? And I guess one I would have is, how involved has the commission been in the past as far as has anyone been involved then with, is there a committee or anything in the
When
past?
they were in person attended, and we, of course, it's been a while now. so it's-
2019, I think.
But, so it was sort of split so that we'd always made sure that there was at least a commissioner
Okay.
present when it was in person. Felt that was important to show support and again, we're unique within the state fairly
Yeah.
to have this commission, so it's, it's important to get some, and so, yeah, and
Okay.
quite honestly, some of the topics are interesting enough to get somebody like me to stick around for a while, so.
Okay, good. That is really the gist of what I had, if the commission had anything else that they wanted to offer.
Any other suggestions?
Can't think of anything, no.
Okay.
Okay, well then, that will move us down to following through our agenda. I see that we have no unfinished business listed, so that takes us to the public forum section of our meeting. And so I will ask if there is a member of the public present online, because I see no one in our commission room. Is there anyone online that would like to visit with us?
There is nobody online.
Okay, so we'll just wait and let me pause and see if just give it that last 10 seconds or so to see if we have someone pop in. Seeing no one present and no one logging in for our meeting, and seeing no other business on our agenda, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. So move.
Yes.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor for adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign. This meeting is adjourned.